Right, okay, so you've gone into the editor and you've selected an area where you want to lay a piece of track. Dead easy really. You select the track that you want by clicking here. If you're not happy with the list that's up here, in other words the Oxford track, you can select other types of track down here. We'll try Oxford Paddington default track, and from there we can then choose what sort of track we want. I want generic 2 yard track. Now on the other side, as you can see it says Oxford Pad generic 2. You can set your speed. We'll say 40, and we'll do 40 for the next one. We want it to be freight line, so we're going to make it freight. No overhead electrics. You can put overhead wires on if you want, or third rail or even fourth rail, but we don't want that. We don't want that at all. So at the moment I've selected 4 down here. Let's say we want 2 track. Most people want an up and a down. Don't worry about all the other settings. This one is your follow on. Means it follows the path. I've got it on at the moment, so you'll see what I mean. This one means point levers, and this one means magnet track. Okay, all it means is it magnetises to wherever it wants to be, wherever you want it to be. You can move the track around before you even start and get the arrows roughly where you want them to go. If you're not happy with that, you don't need to use it. So then you lay a piece of track, and that looks dead easy, doesn't it? It is really. Then you lay another piece of track, another piece, and another piece, and you can go on for miles and miles and miles just laying track wherever you want. Remember, you haven't adjusted the terrain, you haven't added anything to it, you haven't put a station in or anything yet. You can do that later. So there you are, you've laid a load of track. Nice long strip of track. Now, a lot of people are saying at the moment, how do we make points? How do we make them change and whatever? Well, I'll show you now. You've still got your generic track, okay? So you still select your generic track 2 up here again. You want 2 tracks coming off of these 2 tracks, and we need to set a speed. Now because this is going to be a sharp tight corner, I'm going to reduce the speed to 25. Put 25 and 25 in. You select freight again. Again, no overhead wires and no ballast in this case. You can put ballast under. And then you put a crossing. Now I always go to about halfway, so it does that. I've got 2 points there. Now to cross over the tracks, you go straight. And then if you want to turn it, you can then turn it right round, go around in a circle if you wish, and you've got your tracks laid. Okay, dead easy. Then we go back to where we've just created that turn, if you like, and here it is. You've got point levers on there, which you can delete if you want. I always like to leave mine in so other people can actually change them. Now the one thing I haven't done yet is created the proper crossing, so we'll do that now. We'll select weld, and you should get a square come up on top of it. I haven't this time, but it obviously doesn't want to weld. That's just typical. I'll do it again so you can see this weld, and I should be able to get it. So we select our track. We've got 2. We'll change the speed to 25, 25. 25, 25. Again, we'll go to freight. You don't have to. The freight bit you don't need to use, all right? But you do need to check that to select your speed in the first place. So we'll go to about halfway, put that in, go to about halfway again, and then we'll turn the track. 1, 2. Now by rights, if it's worked, I should be able to change the point, so change this crossing so it looks like a crossing. We'll have a go. I should get a little square come up if I've done it right. There you go, and you click on that and it puts the crossing in. I didn't manage it on the first one, but that's easy, isn't it? Now if you want to join 2 tracks together so you create a crossover from one track to another, with this one you select the type of track you want, which has got to be the same as the one you're using. Now to find out what you're using, select this, which is the square, select the piece of track, and it tells you that it's 40 miles an hour, generic track 2. This is so that if you ever go back to it after a long time and think, oh, I want to put a turn out here, you'll know what sort of track it is. Okay? So we do generic track 2, and this time we only want 1 track, so we'll change that to 1 track. And this speed I want to create at 15, because we're going to do a very tight yard type junction. So we go 15, 15, have to put 8, and we choose yard. And we're still using the same track, so this shouldn't be difficult. You click on where you want it to start, and you go about halfway, just under, like that. You see? That's about halfway across the track, and you put him in. Now, because you've done that, I've got a follow on, but you've already got this red square and a red marker saying this can't go then. But when you put it in the other side and you see the track turn red, it then disappears, and so does the other end, and you've got your points put in straight away. Maybe you think that's easy. Well, I believe it is. And that's all you do for a turnout. If you wanted to make it a Y, you turn onto the triangle with the arrow facing the other way, and you lay in your piece of track. So it just leaves the other one, and then you have a Y point. I'll show you because I'll go back to it. You then have a Y point. Again, it works. Very easy to put a Y point in. Slips and that are a little bit more difficult, but they all work. So you have a little layer of track. I hope you enjoyed that little tuition.